Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today for our live Data Studio webcast hosted by Altus Group. During today's session, we will see how Data Studio can help you navigate risk and determine opportunities. Before we get started, just a couple things to note. Today's webcast is being recorded, and as you might have noticed while you joined, you have been muted. Today, all participants are on listen-only mode. We do still want to hear from you, so if you have any questions or feedback during today's call, please feel free to submit them through the Q&A feature and we will get back to you. We are also going to launch a few polls throughout today's session. You will see these pop up directly on your screen. By way of introductions, my name is Jane Gold and I'm an offer manager here at Altus Group for our data products, which includes Data Studio. I am excited to be joined today by my colleague, Shane Friedman, one of our real estate solutions experts.
Thanks for joining the call, everyone, today.
Awesome. With that, we're going to go ahead and launch our first poll. Data Studio is a data product, so we would love to understand what your data strategy is today or how you're sourcing data today, whether it be for analysis or your other business needs. If you're a Data Studio customer, maybe you don't have data strategy just yet. If you do manual research, or maybe you utilize some other data providers or data sources, would love to better understand how you're sourcing data today and kind of get a feel for who we have with us on the call today. I think it's always interesting to see who we have joining us for these webinars, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the value in our product throughout our conversations.
Look forward to the results here.
Yeah, me too. I think it's always interesting to see some new, who we have on, new old faces. Always love when our current customers join us for these conversations.
Hopefully somebody will be able to take something away from the webinar and get some value out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, it looks like we have a pretty good mix of some new and old faces. For those of you who are new to Data Studio, as we mentioned today, and hopefully you'll be able to see how our product will be just what you are looking for. And for those of you that are existing Data Studio customers or are already familiar with Data Studio, we certainly hope you'll take something away from our session today, learn something new about how you can unlock greater value with Data Studio. Before I turn it over to Shane for the demo portion of the webcast, where he will show how Data Studio can be used to make data-informed decisions, I did just want to take a moment to orient us all to what Data Studio is. Data Studio is a powerful product positioned to provide insights on transactions, listings, and development happenings across key asset types and key markets, all presented in one system. We provide numerous search parameters to help you curate results that fit your needs, whether you're interested in transactions, listings, development applications, or new home projects. Each record we have shows on average over 100 data points that are there to help you better understand a building, derive insights, and identify trends. We provide this depth of data as a result of our data network and our research process. Not only does Data Studio rely on data partnerships, but we also have our research team who works to source even more valuable insights, provide commentary, aggregate, and verify building level information. Data Studio has captured over 160,000 commercial transactions, over 50,000 listings, and over 11,000 new home development projects. As a result of our collection processes, we are able to provide data elements to help drive your informed decisions and aid in core analysis that is needed to operate more efficiently. As you will see a moment when Shane walks us through the Data Studio platform, you will notice we have pre-populated dashboards, visualizations, and specific record overview pages that are all available for your review in the product. As I mentioned, Shane will put everything I mentioned in action and show you live what we mean with everything that I previously stated when he walks us through a live demo. But just before we turn over to that, we want to launch just another poll question out to you all. Again, just to better understand what your challenges might be today. And then hopefully you'll be able to realize how Data Studio can address some of these, whether it's sourcing data or analyzing trends. Shane, I know you spend a lot of time with Data Studio customers or potential clients. Is there a particular challenge that you see, most common these days?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see an even distribution on this one. A lot of our clients really do have a difficult time sourcing their data, I would say. There's a data lake out there, and sometimes it's hard to boil the ocean. So, what's your thoughts?
I love that. I totally agree. And I think what's more exciting to me is regardless of what challenge someone on the call might select, I think you're going to cover pretty much all of these items when we go through the demo. So most excited to kind of showcase how we can solve all of these challenges that we know exist out there for our clients. Oh yeah, just as you expected, pretty much an even distribution, at least across those top 3 reasons. That's great. I guess with that, Shane, I'll turn it over to you. Enough of me talking, and you can give the group an idea of how we can solve those challenges, navigate the market, and make more informed decisions.
Thanks, Jen. I will take you through the platform and help you understand what Jane was referencing with regards to all those data points. So what you can see currently on your screen is our Data Studio product. What we'll be mostly focused on today is the commercial sales data, as well as that commercial listings catalog. The commercial sales catalog, that tracks transactions across an array of property types. So whether it's apartment, retail, industrial, office, even ICI land. Essentially what we do is we cover sales over $1 million, where we'll provide the date of the sale, the amount of that asset was purchased for, as well as some mortgage details and seller and purchaser on the title. Then essentially our researchers, they're going to go in, dive into those transactions and do a little bit of an overview and give a little bit more insight into those transactions. Next, we have our commercial listings dashboard or catalog. This is where you can look at active on-market lease availabilities for both the industrial and office markets. Things we track within this catalog is direct available space, asking rates, realty taxes, total additional rent, many other different information as well. To the left, we have our navigation pane. This is where you have easy access to searching our multiple catalogs. So we have your form search as well as your map search. And then we also have some market information with regards to our overall dashboards. So before we start, I'm going to take you through the dashboards. And with our dashboards, this is a tool where you can go into both your listings and sales data that we track, and it helps our customers better analyze and stay on top of market trends. We cover both sales and listings activities Canada-wide, so whether you want to narrow into a market that you're already familiar with, or perhaps a market that you want to get more familiar with, this is where you can create some dashboarding and provide deeper insights into certain markets. Right now, we're looking at that transactions dashboard, and this is right now showing sales volume across Canada. You do also have the ability to dive into certain markets, but what we can see right now is the breakdown of transactions by different asset classes. With regards to the market overview, at the top we have our market metrics. So this is the total amount of transactions that have happened from Q1 2024 all the way to today. And then we also have that total volume as well. With regards to what we're seeing, the industrial market, that's generally continues to dominate the commercial real estate landscape into 2025. It'll be interesting to see whether there are any changes going forward into based off of certain economic and social political climate changes. It'll be exciting to see which asset classes will continue to thrive into the future. Scrolling down, this is where you can see information into each of those asset classes. So we can dive into apartments, hotels, as well as office and retail. And then scrolling all the way to the bottom, we have a time series graph. So this is where we can look at the transaction volume quarter over quarter. And right now, it does seem like there is a little bit of a drop in transaction volume from the first quarter of 2024 all the way into 2025. Also, we can see how the market has performed so far in Q2. And right now, it does look like we're trending a little bit downwards compared to last quarter of 2025 as well. Within the sales dashboard, I'm showing this is where you're able to really also dig into transaction activities for many different asset classes, as I mentioned before. So if we wanted to say dive into the Toronto market, look at all of the greater city of Toronto. So maybe we want to look at, let's say, Old Toronto, and then we want to really dive into office transactions. This is where we're able to launch a dashboard again. This is where we're able to really dive into that particular asset class. So I'm going to click on that asset again, dive into Old Toronto, look at office transactions, and then we want to look at transactions that have happened all the way back from 2024, January 1st. Right now, this is giving you some high-level details of the office market, the total amount of transactions that have happened, the total dollar volume, as well as the average price per square foot. We do also have some cap rate information within the platform, as well as really being able to visualize who are the main equity investors within the office industry. Additionally, this is where you're also able to dive in, see from a quarter over quarter basis how transaction volume has changed, as well as the per square foot rate at what those assets have transacted at. Jumping over, we're going to look at the office listings dashboard. And this is a dashboard where we can look into some data trends in supply dynamics that are tracking within Data Studio. Similar to the sales, you're able to filter down by market and building type. So we're in that office dashboard. And in this search, we're going to look at the city of Ontario market. We're going to look at Greater Toronto area, and then we'll filter down to that downtown Toronto. We do also have the ability to dive into a certain node. So if you have a particular node that you focus on, you can do that as well. And we all know that the office market is a very bifurcated market. So maybe you want to look at just Class A and Class B listings over the last year, let's say. So I'm going to set up those parameters, and maybe we want to look at what's happened ever since COVID. So we can look at 2018 all the way to now, and what that's going to do is drill down into that time. Within the market metrics, we're seeing a snapshot in time at that Q2. We see the total buildings within total building area, as well as the total number of buildings. We have our total leased area, as well as the total available area as well. That total available area is split into our direct space as well as our sublet space. And then we also have some point in time metrics with regards to our direct available rates, direct vacancy rates, as well as our sublet rates as well. Drilling down into our reports, this is where we can see our available space report. And there is some ability to customize these graphs as well. So if you did want to hide some information where you wanted to only see what direct space has come available within the market, you can clearly see a trend happening from an office perspective pre and post COVID. So clearly our availability rate was a lot lower prior to COVID, and then with COVID hitting, I'm sure that there's been a pretty big hit on that office asset. But we can also see some stability happening as well. Driving a little bit further into the metrics, we can go in, see how the data has changed over time. We can see how many buildings were in the market back in 2018, as well as how many completed buildings there are today, and that's effect on that overall available space as well. Right now, it isn't the only report that we have within that leasing dashboard. You also have the ability to look into other metrics such as your leased area. So if we wanted to look at the lease change in leased area, we can drill into that as well as if you wanted to look into, let's say, occupancy costs and see what the average rental rates are quarter over quarter. This is where you're able to get a little bit more of a dynamic dashboard and see how things are trending over time. With that being said, we're going to launch our third poll question, and this is where we want to get your understanding of, based off of recent economic trends and conditions, what is your overall outlook on deal volume for the next year?
I don't know about you, Shane, but I'm particularly interested to see what this group thinks about this question. I know there's been a lot of change going on, both in Canada with our southern neighbor, US, tariffs, elections, all the sorts. I know personally I'm in denial. It's already May of 2025. So, I'm still living in the COVID era. I feel like I stunted in 2020. So very curious what this group thinks is yet to come with this year ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough market with certain asset classes, with hopefully office starts bouncing back a little bit with that pushback to the office, but who knows with industrial with the tariffs. So it is interesting to see what the results are.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, look at that. I think we see majority of our attendees today are projecting a moderate decrease in deal volume. So that's kind of aligned maybe with what our suspicions are, but a fair number of people are expecting no change. So that's maybe, comforting to hear. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Great. So from here, you can go and click on individual. Oh, sorry. So from here, you can drill down into specific data. You can't drill into specific data within the dashboard, but this is more done specifically within the map search as well as the form search, as I mentioned earlier in the webinar. We're currently on that map feature, and our form search feature, in addition, gives you more nuance list at how users are drilling down into the catalog to attain more actionable property intelligence as well as specific investor parameters. At the top of the screen, this is where you can start creating boundaries within the map search. So whether you want to do a radius search or create a polygon, this is where you're able to specify a boundary that you wanted to search. And then to the left, this is where we have our multiple catalogs. So I'm going to do a commercial sales search, and this is where we're going to see where the drill down items are. So we have your product types. If you wanted to drill into office, industrial, retail, you can do that as well. But I'm going to just launch a quick search, and you can see all those transactions that have happened within the market for all asset classes. At the bottom, we can also see that we have some save searches. So if you do have particular parameters that you want to drill down to time over time, I'm going to look into our downtown office core. Right now, you can see what my parameters were. So we're looking at assets that are transacting over $20 million all the way back to 2015. If you did want to change those boundaries, you can easily do so as well to pick up a couple more transactions, as well as you do have the ability to click on any of these transactions that have happened, and you see a little snippet of when that transaction occurred. I'm going to click on that View Results tab, and this is going to take you to the overall chart of those transactions that have happened in the market. So within that map, you can see that there was 46 transactions that have occurred. And to the top of the screen, this is where you're able to see all those main categories and columns that are on those particular acquisitions. So we can see the transaction dates, the transaction names, the price per square foot, as well as who's buying the asset, who's selling the asset, and when the last updated date was. If you do click on the three dots, there are multiple different columns that you can add as well. So if you did want to customize your view, you do have the ability to do that, as well as you do have the ability also to export these transactions to Excel as well. I'm going to go in, click on a particular purchase, and this is where we're going to go in and drill into a particular property overview. So with regards to what you see currently, we're looking at a 111 Peter Street. We can see to the left that it has transacted a couple of times within the last 20 years. And you do have the ability to jump into those transactions as well. As you can see from a commercial listings database where we can eventually drill into what has transacted from a leasing side, what the available space is within the building, and whatnot too. On that property overview tab, we have some location information, as well as that transaction summary of details. So we can see when it was transacted, the purchase price, as well as more KPIs with regards to your cap rates and building size as well. Scrolling down, this gives you a little bit more detail into the pricing structure. So we can see that the purchase price was $108 million transaction. We can also look at the mortgage to see the loan to value on this deal and understand when the maturity date is coming up, as well as the interest rates as well, which comes down to the remarks. Going over to the next tab, we have our main stakeholders on the deal. So we have who are the vendors, who's selling the property, who's buying the property, as well as who's brokeraging that deal as well. And then, as I mentioned, our research team does a really great job of going into those deals, entering in as much information as they can find. So you're going to get a lot more information with regards to the physical details, some tenancy information, as well as any other general marks or NOI that we can pull as well. If we have any photos on the property, this is where you're able to actually go in and look into what that property looks like as well. From there, I'm going to select that commercial listings, and this is where you're actually able to see that relational database and how we can really dive into the transaction, as well as what the asking rates are on this particular asset. So from that standpoint, we can see that high-level building information as well, the leasing profile, so how much direct available space there is, how much sublet space there is, as well as a little bit more information into the pricing and operating expenses as well. Scrolling down, we have some stakeholder information. So who's the main contact on that particular asset. And then we have our available suites. So this is where you're able to see what direct available suites or sublet spaces are available, how much they're asking for that particular suite. And then we can open up some more information, get a little bit more granular with the information there as well. We do offer some floor plans as well on the deal, and just as much information as we can provide. In terms of the lease transaction summaries, this is where you can see what some of the spaces have transacted over the past couple quarters, so we can see maybe who's in that space as well. And then if we have any documents on the deal, we can go in and pull up those documents as well. So we can see when Crown owned that property, they might have had a little bit of more information on what's inside that building. Great. Going back to the map view, this is where you also have the ability to dive into the listings and get a little bit more granular with regards to what's happening within the market as well. And this is, I'm going to finish up with this, and this is where you can go in, look at the downtown core, view the results, and if you had certain properties within that parameters, and let's say you wanted to really compare certain buildings, you can select those buildings and start analyzing those buildings as you see fit. So we're going to take those selected buildings, and this is where you're able to create your own reports, do your own analysis, and really see what's going on within a market. So we can take those buildings, see the vacant space, see the absorption, and really start building our own analytics. So all these capabilities that we showed today can be done for all different asset classes across Canada, giving the availability to take a comprehensive look at the market, dive into the details, and create your own insights.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. I think that feature right there, where not only do we have those market level or more broad dashboard capabilities, but the kind of option to pick selected properties and create your own visualizations is a really powerful feature that we're able to offer in Data Studio. I hope throughout the demo today, you have all been able to start to see how valuable our Data Studio product can be as a tool for you in your business. If you did ask a question throughout today's conversation, we will make sure to have a member of our team reach out to you. We will also send out the recording to this session as soon as it's available. That will come through via email. We appreciate you joining us today for this webinar. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.